And now, Mike's thoughts.
All right, guys, let's talk about this rigged NFL. Because at this point, it's getting harder and harder to pretend that it's not. Every single week, there's a new questionable flag, a missed call, a clock malfunction that somehow mysteriously benefits the league's biggest markets or the most marketable stars. You ever notice that when it's a smaller market team getting hosed? Crickets. But it's when the Cowboys, when it's the Chiefs, Packers need a miracle, boom! The refs suddenly throw the laundry and it's like the competition in the Olympics. And don't give me that human error garbage. We've got cameras on every inch of the field, sensors in the football, and tech that can track a player eyelash flutter. But somehow they can't figure out that a guy was 2 yards short on a fourth down. Please! They know exactly what they're doing. The league needs storylines. The league needs ratings. So what do? They keep games close, keep superstars relevant, and push teams that print that money. So you think it's coincidence that primetime games always end up some sane, crazy finish or last-second flag? It's not. It's production. The NFL has become the WWE with helmets. Scripted chaos is designed as competition. And I'm not saying every single play, every drive, every game is fixed. But when the money, betting, and TV rankings are all intersected, you better believe influence trickles in. And you can see it in the calls, the suspects, the fine system, even who it gets flexed on the national slots. So yeah, it may not be fully rigged, but it's definitely manipulated. The league is not interested in fairness. They're interested in narratives. They don't want domination. They want drama, because drama keeps fans watching, betting, and most importantly, arguing. The NFL doesn't protect. It just shields. It scripts it. Do you want the truth? That is the truth. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation, guys? Welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. And I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. Before we jump into today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com. That is where you find all the exclusive merchandise, the fresh blogs, and everything that's happening with the show. So if you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that is a spot to rep it. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, of course, subscribe so you never miss a live interactive show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged in with us. But as the camera starts to malfunction, imagine that. Holy good God. It's going to be one of those shows today, huh? It is going to be one of those shows. So let me go over here to the studio. Let me shut the camera off. Let me turn it back on, because this is live. This is raw. And this is uncut NFL talk, guys. But today we're going to talk about the Chiefs taking on the Detroit Lions. That's right, guys. Put some respect on their name. We're going to talk about, what else we got to talk about? We're going to talk about the fight. The fight. Yeah, that fight. The fight that happened. the Brian Branch meltdown. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Drake Maye being the man, the myth, the legend. We got a little bit of Carolina Panthers talk, Seahawks. Rounding up a little bit of fact, a little bit of crack with the LA Rams taking on the LA Chargers. But guys, we got to start off at the top. And that is the one and only Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, let's talk about those Kansas City Chiefs, because after a ugly Monday night loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, Patrick Mahomes and company reminded everybody last night exactly who they are. And that is the best team in the entire NFL. From start to finish. The Kansas City offense was surgical. Mahomes was locked in, 257 yards through the air, 3 touchdown passes, and another one on the ground. 5 scoring drives out of 7, 1 punt all game long. That's efficiency, that's control, that is leadership, and that is championship caliber football from the Kansas City Chiefs. What stood out the most wasn't the deep ball. Mahomes only had 1 attempt over 20 yards all night long, and it was an incompletion. It was a clinic in patience. He took what the Lions gave him, attacked short zones, and let his playmakers do the rest. Xavier Worthy found the end zone on a 6-yard grab. Marquise Hollywood Brown hauled in 2 touchdowns, 9 yards and 3 yards out, both on quick, precise plays that showed how offense can win in multiple ways. And at 3-3, this isn't the same explosive Kansas City Chiefs team that we used to growing up to. But make no mistake, they're evolving and they're great. Mahomes is playing smarter, not flashier. He's using tempo, mixed regression, and short yardage dominance to move the ball up and down the field. This was vintage Andy Reid chess game, not backyard football. Now on the flip side, the Detroit Lions came on a 4-game winning streak and left with the reality check. The Lions defense was battled, sure. Terrion Arnold was out. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch were both playing hurt. That showed. That gave up season worst 355 yards, total yards, forced 0 turnovers, and looked outmatched by the Kansas City Chiefs. Alazone, is that how you say his name? Played his heart out, though. 12 tackles, a couple pressures, but the Lions were gassed at the end of the night. And it didn't help that things got ugly after the game as well. Brian Branch refused to shake Patrick Mahomes' hands, slapped Juju in the face, and he tried to off another one. And that's just frustration boiling over. He's already been fined multiple times this year after this year, and another one, maybe even a suspension, is coming. Meanwhile, Chris Jones, the man, the myth, the legend, what a bounce-back game he had. He got roasted last week for his lack of effort versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, but against the Lions, total redemption. 4 quarterback pressures, 3 of them coming underneath 2.5 seconds. That's dominance late in the game when it mattered the most. He forced Jared Goff into a sack by Charles Oney, and that only killed the only chance the Detroit had Lions coming back. Mahomes capped it off with another rushing touchdown, his 4th of the season, tying his career high so far. And here we are. 6 weeks in, he's tied for second among quarterbacks in rushing scores. This wasn't flashy for the Kansas City Chiefs. This wasn't pretty for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it was a statement by the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs showed that they can take a punch, regroup, and control the game from start to finish. So, guys, let's get into this. Are the Kansas City Chiefs back after that dominating win over the Detroit Lions? That's right, a dominating win over the Detroit Lions. Or is this just a solid game against a banged-up defense? Guys, let me get into the comments and let me ask you guys this question. Are the Kansas City Chiefs the real deal? Are they the man, the myth, the legends? Or is it simply just a 1-game fluke? Guys, this is a live interactive show, so drop your comments down below as we are live every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time here for a couple of weeks, and we're going back to the Friday show. But on the other side of the coin, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions, because after what we saw against the Kansas City Chiefs, we got to ask ourselves, are the Lions officially in trouble? It was supposed to be a statement game for the Detroit Lions. They won 4 in a row, and the Detroit Lions came in red hot. Jared Goff looked sharp. The defense was creating turnovers left and right, but Sunday night, the wheels came off. Kansas City flat out controlled the game. Patrick Mahomes looked surgical. 257 yards passing, 3 touchdowns through the air, and another one on the ground. He did it without even going deep. The Chiefs' offense just picked them apart underneath. Mahomes completed 17 of 21 passes within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. He didn't need big plays because Detroit's defense couldn't stop the small ones. And here's the problem. The Detroit Lions defense is breaking down. Terrion Arnold was out. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch were both limping through injuries, and it showed. They allowed a season-worst 355 yards and didn't force 1 turnover the entire game for the first time since week 1. And oh, by the way, they lost that week 1 game. When this team doesn't get takeaways, they flat out struggle. When this team doesn't get offensive firepower, they flat out struggle. Through their 4-game winning streak, Detroit's defense forced 9 turnovers. 9. And their 2 losses, 0. It's that simple. When you don't take the ball away, they can't hang with the elite offenses. When they don't take the ball away, the offense can't play from the front. When the offense can't play from within the front, they struggle. The defense struggles. The whole team struggles. And this is the Kansas City Chiefs team, even when it's not at their best, exactly showed why that they are the best. Now, got to give credit to Alex. This dude was everywhere, right? 12 tackles, a couple quarterback pressures, and the rest of the defense was hanging on by a thread. And then to top it all off, Brian Branch embarrassed himself at the end of the game. Mahomes tried to shake hands. Branch turned it away, then went after Juju and Smith-Schuster instead. Slapped him in the face. That's not toughness. That's frustration. He's already been fined 3 times this season, and now he's looking like he's going to get another fine, if not a suspension. He should be suspended. Let's just be honest about it. And look, Jared Goff did not play terrible in this game, but he didn't elevate the team either. The offense only scored 17 points, their second lowest point total of the season. And once Chris Jones started collapsing the pocket late in the game, they had no answers. Jones and Charles closed the door with the sack on 3rd and long, and that was that. Now, I'm not saying the sky is falling in Detroit, but here's the reality. The Lions built their identity on toughness, turnovers, and execution. Right now, they're banged up, playing sloppy, and losing the edge. If they don't get healthy and fast, this season could spiral out of control quickly. The NFC is too tight to drop multiple games like this. So here's the question for you guys down in the comments down below. Are the Detroit Lions in trouble, or is this just one bad game versus a great team? Let me get in the comments, guys, and discuss your thoughts. Good, but remember, we are live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/manhour. Now, what an ugly way for the Detroit Lions to end the night in Kansas City. Not only did you get beat down 30-17 by the Kansas City Chiefs, but in all the explosion exploded after the whistle. Let me set the scene for you guys. The game's over. Patrick Mahomes walks to midfield to show some sportsmanship. Just a simple high five or a handshake to say, "Good game, Brian Branch." Branch walks right past him. Juju Smith-Schuster steps in, tries to say good game as well, and then Branch slaps him in the face mask, open-handed, right to the face, and then all hell breaks loose. Players from both teams rush in. Helmets get ripped off, and there's Juju on the ground bleeding from his nose, all because Brian Branch lost his control. After the game, Branch admitted it was childish. His words, not mine. He said he was tired of being bullied on the field and the rest weren't catching things. But come on. You can't justify that. You cannot strike another guy after the game, especially when your team just got humbled on national television. Now, let's be real here. This isn't a one-time thing. Brian Branch is becoming a problem. This dude has been fined 13 times in his short career already. We're talking about late hits, face mask, helmet-to-helmet contacts, and, of course, fighting. That's not aggression. That's reckless. He's hurting his team and his wallet. Lions head coach Dan Campbell said it himself. What he did is inexcusable. It's not what we do here. He even apologized to Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Juju after the game. That tells you everything that you need to know. When your head coach has to do damage control at midfield because of your actions, you have become a liability. And this couldn't come at a worse time for the Detroit Lions. They just had their 4-game winning streak snapped. Their defense gave up 355 yards, forced only one punt, and couldn't make a stop when it mattered. The offense was flat. Jared Goff threw for just 203 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown held to 45 yards, and Jahmyr Gibbs ran hard but inefficient. The game was supposed to prove that the Lions can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the NFL, especially an elite AFC powerhouse like the Kansas City Chiefs. Instead, they looked outclassed, undisciplined, and out of control. Look, Brian Branch is a talented player. Nobody is questioning that. But talent means nothing when you cannot keep your emotions in check. When you consistently get fined, consistently putting your team in bad spots, eventually it's not about passion, it's about accountability. And I'll say it flat out. The NFL needs to suspend him. Minimum 3 games. Enough is enough. Because in this league, doesn't step in, the Lions have to. The team has worked too hard to rebuild its image just to let one player drive them back down into chaos. And here's another thing. Detroit's built their identity about grit and discipline. But lately, that grit is turning into frustration. That discipline is turning into outbreaks. Your confidence follows when you start to break down. And when your confidence starts to follow, meaning downhill, that's exactly what we're seeing. An undisciplined losing team. So I got to ask this question for you guys down in the comments down below. Is Brian Branch dragging the Lions team down, or do you think the NFL should hit him with a suspicion and send him a message? That's the question that I have for you guys. Subscribe, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at manhour.nfl.com and, of course, youtube.com/manhour. Now, let's talk about Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts just keep on keeping on, baby. And, folks, it's about time we start talking about them seriously. 6 weeks into the NFL season, Daniel Jones' led offense looks legit. Yeah, I said it. Daniel Jones, the same guy New York gave up on, is now running one of the most efficient offenses in football. And Sunday, he was dialed in yet again. 22 for 30 of passing, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing score on a stick play-action bootleg. His only mistake? A great athletic interception by Arizona's Mack Wilson. But outside of that, Jones was in complete control from start to finish. And when you got JT, Jonathan Taylor, behind you, good luck stopping this team. JT went off again, 123 yards and a touchdown. And his final run through the heart of the Carolina defense sealed the win. He's running angry. This offensive line is feeding off that energy. And let's not forget about rookie tight end Tyler Warren either. This man should be rookie of the year. 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown. This kid is quickly becoming a real threat. Between him, Taylor, and Daniel Jones, Indy has put up over 30 points in 4 games this season. That's not a fluke. That is consistency. Now, here's where the stats really start to jump off at me. The Colts have scored 194 points through 6 weeks. That's the most in franchise history during the Super Bowl era. They passed the 2007 Peyton Manning-led team. Let that sink in. Daniel Jones and this group are outscoring prime Peyton Manning through 6 games. Unfreaking real, baby. But what really changed this week was the defense. The defense crew finally found its groove. Coming into the game, Indy's defense has been averaging at best against the pass rush. It's just been average, right? That flipped on Sunday. They pressured Jacoby Brissett on nearly half of his drop back, 48.9%, their highest rate of the season. DeForest Buckner, Payne, Ladu, and Sampson all eating as well. Each of them at least had 4 or 5 pressures. But the real difference maker, the guy was in destructive moments everywhere. 3 quick pressures that changed drives. That type of front 7 pressure is what separates good teams from playoff teams. And you got to give credit where credit is due. Brissett played tough. It was his first start for Arizona, and he was actually looked pretty solid. 9 for 14 on 3rd down, sustained multiple long drives. Even after Marvin Harrison Jr. went down, he gave the Cardinals a chance late, but the Colts defense made the stops when it mattered most. That's how you win in this league. And here's the thing. This isn't a fluke anymore. The Colts are balanced, they're physical, and they're very well coached. They got a quarterback who's playing within himself, a running back who's dominating, and a pass rush that is heating up. Guys, I have said many, many times, I'm not buying into the Colts yet because look who have they played, right? Yes, the Arizona Cardinals are probably not going to be a playoff team, but they're still a pretty damn good team. Guys, the Indianapolis Colts are officially the real deal. The Indianapolis Colts officially might be a top 3 team in the AFC. The Indianapolis Colts officially might be in Super Bowl conversations as of right now. But I got to ask you guys this question. Are the Colts actually contenders in the AFC? Or just a hot streak and just a lot of smoke and mirrors? Subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Now, let's get into a little thing we got to call buy or sell. Buy or sell. Actually, we're not in buy or sell. We're going to talk about Baker Mayfield. Let's jump back there. We do a little bit of this. And now let's talk about Baker Mayfield, because what he did against San Francisco 49ers was just impressive, baby. It was an MVP caliber football type of performance. Guys, the Buccaneers came into this game and absolutely decimated. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Jalen Macklin, and then they lose their rookie star, Ima Ubuka, at halftime. Am I saying that name right? Probably not. Most quarterbacks would have crumbled underneath this kind of pressure, but not Baker Mayfield, baby. He thrived. Baker Mayfield completely diced up one of the most respected defenses in football with a bunch of backup receivers. He made a clutch throw after clutch throw after clutch throw. And when the moment got tight, he flat out took over. That play that defined the game, the 3rd and 14, deep in the third quarter, Bucks up by 1. It should have been a sack. Baker Mayfield ducked underneath the defender, spun out of pressure, juked another 49er, and somehow broke 2 tackles to stretch for the first down. That play had a 3.7% chance of success, according to Next Gen Stats, and Baker made it happen. 2 plays later, he pump faked the safety and dropped the dime to rookie Tej Johnson for the diving touchdown catch. That's what MVPs do. They create something out of nothing. And here's the thing. It just wasn't one highlight either. Baker Mayfield consistently kept driving lives all night long with pinpoint throws over the middle to move the chains. Even with backups, its offense looked confident, efficient, and resilient. Mayfield has completely lifted his team on his back. The Bucs are now 5-1 on the season, guys, and this was their first win by more than 3 points all season long. Every week, Baker finds a way to win. That's leadership, that's poise, that's MVP material. Now on the other sideline, the San Francisco 49ers are in deep, deep trouble. Fred Warner, arguably the best linebacker in the NFL, went down with a gruesome ankle injury in the first quarter. Reports say he's likely done for the season. Add that to Nick Bosa being out, Brock Purdy still hurt, Ricky Pearsall missing, and this team is just about breaking down physically. Mac Jones actually battled hard, though, 347 yards passing, hit Kendrick Bourne for 5 catches, 142 yards, but the Niners couldn't run the ball and couldn't protect him. 6 sacks, 3 yards per carry. They moved the ball, but also settled for 4 field goals. You can't win like that in the NFL. Now let's give some serious love to Todd Bowles' defense. They balled out. Levant David came through with a huge sack on 3rd down, knocked the 49ers out of field goal range. Vita Vea, what a monster. 5 pressures controlling the middle all game long. And Jamil Dean sealed it with an interception late in the 4th quarter. That is a complementary football. This offense and defense both doing their part. The Bucs led the entire second half for the first time all year. They didn't need a last-minute miracle to win this game. So, guys, here's the bottom line. Baker Mayfield isn't playing good football. He's playing elite football. He's taken an injury-riddled roster and keeping them near the top of the NFC. So I'll ask you in the comments down below, if it starts calling the MVP front runner, if you say anything but no, you're just being a pure hater. But subscribe, hit the like button, guys. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com/man hour. But it is time for a thing we have to call a little thing called buy or sell. Yes, that is not the buy or sell logo there, but you know what? I messed up. But guys, it is time for buy or sell and share how it works. I'm going to throw out a bold take or a question. It is up to us to decide. Are we buying it or are we simply selling it? If we're buying it, guys, we all about it. We like it. We want some more of it. If we selling it, we don't like it. I'm not convinced. We're shutting it down. So, guys, let's get into it. In the first buy or sell of the day, we got to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Drake Maye. Guys, it is time for one of my favorite segments, buy or sell. This is where we look at one of the hottest takes from around the NFL. It's up to decide if we're buying it or calling it nonsense. And today we're talking about the young quarterback who's turning heads every single week, Drake Maye. So, guys, here's the question. Buy or sell? Drake Maye is making an early MVP case for the New England Patriots. Buy or sell that? Guys, let's be 100% honest. Nobody expected the Patriots to look this good through the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. But here they are, 4-2. Drake Maye is the biggest reason why. Against the Saints, this kid was poised, confident, and flat out electric. 3 touchdown passes, all of them altered while under pressure, and all 3 were deep throws to the left side of the field. That's elite level football, especially for a second-year quarterback. He finished with nearly 300 yards passing, threw for another touchdown that was called back by a penalty, and even used his legs to keep drives alive, including 2 big third-down scrambles. When the pocket collapsed, he didn't panic. He delivered darts downfield. And he did it without his top weapons being effective. Stephon Diggs, 2 crucial penalties, including one that erased a 61-yard touchdown to D'Amico Douglas. That didn't faze Maye at all. Instead, he leaned on Keyshawn Boutte and had his homecoming game of the year in Louisiana. Booty hauled in 2 touchdown catches and a clutch 21-yard third down grab to seal the win. This is what separates good quarterbacks from MVP level ones. When things go wrong, they elevate everyone around them. Maye is doing exactly that. And now, am I ready to crown the MVP frontrunner Drake Maye? Not quite yet, though, baby. Let's slow it down, baby. But make no mistake, the conversation is starting. He's got the Patriots offense humming at a pace that we haven't seen since early Tom Brady days. And remember this stat. The Patriots have now have won 3 straight. They've done it with dominance, discipline, and confidence. The Saints had every chance to win this game, but between turnovers, penalties, and a defense that couldn't stop third and long, they let Maye take full control. The Patriots look like a team on the rise, and Drake Maye is right in the middle of all of that. So if you're asking me right now, guys, I am buying it. I'm buying Drake Maye as an early MVP candidate. So he's just not playing well. He's carrying his team. But it is your turn, guys. Buy or sell. Is Drake Maye officially in the MVP conversation after this performance? Subscribe, hit the like button, and remember, guys, we are live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com. But let's get into the next buy or sell, guys. The segment where we separate the hype from the truth. And today we're looking at the one of the biggest shockers of the weekends. The Carolina Panthers. Yes. The same team that's been inconsistent all season long. The same team that we call the worst team in football. The same team that's been the worst team in football the last 3 or 4 seasons. Just punched the Dallas Cowboys in the mouth. Over and over and over again. So guys, here is the question. Buy or sell? The Carolina Panthers are officially legit contenders with their win over the Dallas Cowboys. Let's start with this. Rico Dowili didn't just beat his former team, he destroyed them. All week, he warned his ex-teammates to buckle up, and man, did he back it up. Rico put up 83 yards rushing on 30 carries and added another 56 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns. That's a total of 239 total yards. The most ever by any player against a former team in the NFL history. Every time he touched the ball, it was chunk yardage. 8 yards here, 12 yards there, 15 yards again. The man was a wrecking ball. But this wasn't just about Rico. Bryce Young looked the part too. Cool, calm, and composed. Micklin's hands. After that, Young was surgical. He completed all 3 of his deep passes, including 2 for touchdowns. That's been the missing piece in the offense, the deep ball, and now it's finally showed up. And let's give credit where credit is due. McMillan bounced back in a big way. After that early mistake, he came through with 2 touchdowns. The connection between Young and McMillan could be the spark this offense needs to finally find some rhythm. But maybe the most impressive part of the win came on the other side of the ball. The Panthers' defense flat out dominated up front. Derek Brown and Bobby Brown III completely shut down the Dallas Cowboys running game, holding them to just 31 rushing yards on 19 carries. That's 1.6 yards per attempt. Total locked down. And when it mattered most, Carolina's defense came up clutch. They forced a key 3 and out in the fourth quarter with back-to-back tackles for losses, flipping the game and never giving the ball back. Now, Dak Prescott and George Pickens still had their moments. Dak threw for 3 touchdowns. Pickens caught 9 passes for 168 yards. But when it came time to close it, the Cowboys' offense flatlined. 3 and out with -8 yards when they had a chance to win it. You don't do that and expect to beat a hungry team like the Carolina Panthers. So let's bring back to the question, guys. Are the Panthers legit contenders? If Bryce Young keeps growing, if this running game stays dominant, and the defense continues to control the crunches like that, I am 100% buying it. I'm buying it. That was the kind of complex, physical, emotional win that can turn a season around. But let me throw it back to you guys in the comments down below. Buy or sell? Are the Carolina Panthers finally the real after the statement win over the Dallas Cowboys? Guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember, we are live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time right here at youtube.com. What's up, Geomex? I see you, big man. I see you. But guys, it is time for a little thing we have to call fact or rap. Where's the thing that I want? I have too many buttons, guys, but it is time for a little thing we have to call fact or crap.